Hey guys, happy, Thursday afternoon. I just finished my AI boot camp, and while I'm coming down from all that energy, guys, it was so much fun. I already established an assistant. I'm very excited. It's my personal assistant. It's going to help me with everything I do here already, and I'm very excited, and we're going to see. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll teach you how I progress, and it's through a simple chat GTP account, which is only $20 a month. So, if you ever want more information, this boot camp is amazing. I was already able to establish my assistant, fill out a personal DNA. It was amazing. So enough about that, but let's get to your intel summary. I did this morning before I had to get live. The live stream was full of my insights from this. Let's see if I can remember now that I've been in the AI world. Global oil inventories to swell through 2026, the EIA warns. Why? Because U.S. oil production is expected to set a larger record this year than previously forecast. Why? Because you know who is pumping oil again. Even as global oil supply outpaces fuel demand, the Energy Information Administration said in its short-term energy outlook report on Wednesday. Their statistical arm expects the U.S. oil output to average 13.59 million barrels per day this year, and then decline marginally to 13.58. So that's 0.01 million barrels per day. The agency had earlier forecast U.S. oil output would post a slightly steeper decline, but evidently it's going to go well. Why? Because we had a change in leadership in January. Regardless of what you think, guys, it is what it is, right? And so, and I accept all opinions, except criticism of me. So the next article was Iraq cuts gasoline imports 37% in Q3. What I found was very interesting about that is they cut their gasoline imports because they're trying to be self-sufficient and sovereign and they're on their own, but they cut gas. Iraq imported 656,893 tons of petroleum products during the third quarter of 2025. The State Oil Marketing Organization reported on Thursday. Now, it said the imports covered the period from July through September. Gasoline was, they talked about that it was gasoline, how it varied from last year. But it said earlier this month, Iraq, OPEC's second largest oil exporter. Iraq is number two in OPEC's second largest oil exporter. You got to admit that's cool. And it said that, and then they said Iraq halted fuel imports after achieving self-sufficiency in gasoline, diesel, and kerosene. So that's good news for Iraq. They're self-sufficient in what? Gasoline, diesel, and kerosene. So they're self-sufficient, and they're the number two exporter, which means GDP is climbing. So I'm excited about that. Then we looked at the Forex to IQD price. If you look at just the Iraqi dinar stablecoin on Handle Forex on Coinbase, it's 90 cents right now. I just checked it. And then if you look at the IQD to USD, it's unchanged, meaning Forex hasn't turned it on yet because it's suppressed. It's loaded. Infrastructure has been loaded at $4.8101, $4.8101. Can that change? If the Central Bank of Iraq decides to change it, it can, but they haven't recanted it since they established that rate is where it would come out at. The Kuwaiti dinar is still one Kuwaiti dinar equals 3.26 United States dollars. Imagine how that makes sense with Iraq being the number two exporter of oil in OPEC. Kuwait is down there like fifth, but yet they're worth 3.26 US dollars. I don't know. What do you think? Then there was an article about post-shutdown data flow pushes gold towards record high. Gold is up. It says gold rose for a fifth straight session on Thursday to hit its highest in more than 3 weeks, buoyed by expectation that the U.S. government reopening will restart the flow of data and boost bets for further interest rate cuts. Spot gold was up to $4,215.87. That is good for holders of gold. It hit its highest since October 21st. Futures, that's the way the people that bet on whether it's going to go up or down, they make money based on that. They put pushes and calls, puts and calls. So the prospect of weak economic data following the U.S. government shutdown helped push gold higher. This is likely to be supported by ongoing demand from central banks. Central banks are the ones that store gold and can do it safely because they have armed guards, they have armies, right? That's why they can do it. You storing gold at your house is another matter, and vaulting it is also a scary matter because what if they steal it, right? What if they're just not available when you need it? So just some thoughts. And now we go to the summary of everybody else. I'm 5 minutes in. Mine was the breaking news out of Iraq that I got from my intel sources. Not from my intel sources directly, because they've been moving around. Some of them are in different countries now, so they don't get on my live streams as much. But we do have the retired colonel that shared with me the Forex article that, again, proves that it's loaded at 481.01 and it's suppressed across all, what is it? It is with active infrastructure integration, live suppression staging, and institutional level confirmation via the Albanian Center's 2024 white paper. It's suppressed and loaded across all FXVU telemetry layers. The presence of the IQD on active Forex platforms confirms that institutional infrastructure engaged, and release is now dependent solely on coordinated political timing optics. And I thought it was funny because my husband and I pray about everything. Even when we watch programming we love programming sometimes, right? We watch different shows. We were watching an FBI episode and they were talking about how she was there to make sure the optics were correct. It was somebody from the State Department or eventually the CIA. They wanted to make sure how they dealt with it had the right optics worldwide. So it was just funny that it reminded me of this article, how it's coordinated political timing optics. They always think about optics when it comes to doing something that's going to affect the rest of the world. Because believe me, changing the rate in Iraq, it's going to affect the rest of the world. So now you've got Sandy Ingram. It said, here's why the parliament vote is so important. They do things differently in Iraq. Citizens elect parliamentary members, Council of Representatives. That parliament elects the president of Iraq. The president of Iraq then nominates a prime minister, normally from the majority coalition. That nominee proposes a cabinet, and then parliament votes to approve the cabinet, and thereby the prime minister assumes office. That's why the parliament vote is so important. We know that happened. That happened on Tuesday. It's 2 days later. We haven't heard a peep. At least I haven't, but I'm obviously... There's been no articles about it because that's the process. I just went through that with you. Thank you, Sandy Ingram. Now we got Militia Man. He says, we haven't seen the 2023, 2024, or 2025 budget schedules yet. Guys, there was a reason for that. And first of all, budgets are not that important. Everybody else thinks they are. But from somebody who used to audit public companies, budgets aren't even in the factor. It's what are your results, and do your financial statements and your systems actually report the data accurately? That is what the auditor's there for. So he says, but ultimately they probably have that done. That's hush hush because it's related to the exchange rate. We know that they did a tripart budget for the first time ever to hide the timing of this. When Kuwait did this, we were not online. We did not have access to data and articles, and we didn't even have the internet. So this is a whole new day, and they're trying to do smoke bombs so you don't know what's happening. And they like us to fight amongst each other. I like unity. With unity comes coalition. That's why I prevent everybody. So comment down below if you like that I do everybody's summaries in one place that saves you time, because I give you just the fruit. I don't go through all the minutia. I even go through minutia in the mornings. It's not just me, but what I do is distill it all down into the quickest summary I can. Let's see. What did Pimpy say? Pimpy said, Iraq's Prime Minister al-Sudani scores big election victory. He said, this is good news. It looks like the people that support al-Sudani have the largest blocks. This doesn't mean al-Sudani is guaranteed to have the Prime Minister position, but it's good that the people support him and have the largest block. Now they start to try to gather more blocks to join him and then nominate him for a second term. Hope Maliki isn't sneaky like he always is and finds a way to always win. Yeah, Pimpy's right. There's been a lot of problems, but guys, what's new about this time is they have the census. Again, the military filled us in on all this, so you guys get the credit, and you know we still love you, and we can't wait to meet you in person when you're stateside, or if you're already stateside. We'll get together at some point. Just, we'll figure out a way to do it. But I know right now you got to be hush-hush, right? Because nobody can give anybody a hand up, because this is a Forex thing now. It's already gone to Forex. There's no more, it's just a matter of when they release it on Forex, which, if it happens at 5 p.m. tonight, trust me, I will go live and do the time is now. Somebody will let me know. You Forex traders out there, tell me you will let us know. You will come back to this video and let us know down below. Whatever day it's released, come to this video and let us know, please, because I'm not a Forex trader. I need my family. As a family, we're more important. So... anyway, so I thought Pimpy's, this might go a little long, guys. I'm tired. I had a stressful seminar, but I did everything ahead of time. I'm having so much fun, which is the key. Frank 26, I don't think it's going to take very long to form a new government. In his opinion, they've already separated the chaff from the wheat. They have already removed those that don't want anything to do with Donald Trump's plan to make Iraq great again. That's against the monetary reform. Yeah, they all have a lot of money to earn if this happens. So I think everybody does want this to happen. Those against the monetary reform success, those that want to continue to steal Iraq's money. So the government will be ready soon, in his opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Mountain Goat. The next parliament is required to legislate the oil and gas law. The oil and gas is already pumping. I don't think that matters, but the HCL does matter, the hydrocarbon law. They need a new exchange rate in order to be able to afford that. What don't you get about that? But I'm glad they pointed that out so I could say that. Bruce said, we had a contact from Iraq say that President Soudani was reelected and a new rate on the Iraqi dinar would be out. I'm excited and I'm ready. Yeah, Bruce was on, well, tonight's Thursday. He'll be on tonight. So I'll most likely get those details tomorrow. So join me tomorrow morning on the live stream at 9 and we'll hear those details after I go through my seeking God. Because we got to seek God. We got to always thank God for this. Comment down below if you love God the way I do. I love God. I'm a follower of Christ. Christ consciousness is kind of how I roll. He's told me I'm a queen in God's kingdom to my husband's king. And that's because we're debt-free. We are good stewards with everything. Mark Z, we love Mark Z. Soudani secures a major victory in the general election. They still have to finish the counting and balance and early voting special writing, but it's projected to be a landslide. In his opinion, this is good news for those of us. It's good news. It's really good news for those of us wanting the Iraqi dinar RV. I do believe that Soudani being reelected is a good thing and things will be stable and push the RV to a close. There might be some, as we talked at the first person here when I went to the other people's. Guys, all I know is I'm so excited. The Russian ambassador, according to Samson, the article, Russian ambassador, the electoral atmosphere in Iraq is very positive. That was from yesterday. So guys, I don't know. What do you think? I also Nader. We can't forget Nader because this might be one of the last summaries we have to do. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if this was the last summary? 12 million people come out to vote. It was little clashes, of course, in every election all over the world. You got this little clashes. In Iraq, it was nice and smooth. The election was smooth. It was beautiful. A lot of people watch it. The Americans were there to watch it. The European were there to watch it. Everybody's watching it. It was fair and square. You're going to see a couple of negative articles, of course. You have some newspaper abuse, but you're not going to see a major thing. Guys, I'm so excited. I have not been this excited. Number one, I was able to release my idea about this and move forward into something really positive and learning about how to overcome and how to occupy and how to lead in the AI. Because, guys, it's a part of everybody's life. The AI runs the Iraqi banking system. The more I learn, the more it helps us understand what's going on in the banking system. Guys, so that's what I have for you tonight. I hope you like this. Please subscribe. Please tap the bell. Please comment down below if you like these summaries because I don't have to do them. You see my husband, he just finished a project, so I got to go. What are you having for dinner? I don't even know. Last night we had lasagna and garlic bread, and my strategy, I did a video before my thing. I loaded it after it started because I was running late. My strategy worked brilliantly. I've been fasting all this time. I can't wait for this thing to happen. God bless.